Hey everybody, so I still get a lot of questions about wood grain and carving against it. I made a video on it for those interested, which I will also have linked at the end. But this is kind of like a supplementary video for y'all. So one of the things that people keep trying to understand is wood grain. You can see in the basswood here, there's little small lines going right to left or left to right. Either way is the right way to say it. Left to right, right to left. Basically it's going horizontal. Just view it as like a bunch of straws kind of like strapped up together. They're all going right to left, left to right. They're all going in the same direction. Each straw is basically representative of the wood grain. When you're carving different parts of the wood grain, when I'm saying that you're carving with the wood grain, you're literally going along parallel with the wood grain. So basically you have your knife going right down the middle. I'm not going to cut up the straws because these are my wife's boba tea straws and she would attack me if I cut them up or damaged them. So when you're going with the wood grain, you're literally splitting down through the wood grain like that. So basically you're going like this with the wood grain. The blade is going in between each of the fibers. So when we're saying we're cutting across the wood grain, so we're cutting at an angle like this. So we're essentially cutting a downward angle from one side downwards, or we can go straight down across at a 90-degree angle. So anything from like 1 degree going down this way to straight 90 degrees going across the wood grain. When you're going across the wood grain, it's much easier. You get these nice little rolls going like that. Now, when I say we're going against the wood grain, what I'm saying is we're literally cutting from the bottom upwards at an angle. And whenever we do this, we're going to be like, I'm going to do it with the back of the blade because I don't want to damage the straws. But when we're going up, we're literally like kind of dragging the knife across each of the wood fibers, and you can see that the blade is catching on them. What that's going to be like is if we're going upwards, you can see that I'm kind of struggling. I'm not getting that nice smooth cut, and you can see these little jumps going on right here. That's because the blade is catching on each of the wood grain, each fiber of the wood grain. So when we're going upwards, we're essentially doing the same thing. We're catching up on the fibers of the wood grain here. But if we go downwards, we're not catching on anything. So that's the difference between going straight across with the wood grain, across the wood grain, and against the wood grain. So I hope that clears up a lot of stuff with what y'all are experiencing, and hopefully it helps clarify a lot of stuff for beginners.